Are you interested in how you can buy a house, a little bit creative ways in 2023? Well, hey, stay tuned. I've got Lisa Blake with Cadence Bank, and I'm John Wesley Brooks, and here she's going to talk about the difference between a 2-1 buy down and really what's probably a better option in today's real estate, which is really just a buy down on your rate.
Hi, again, I'm Lisa Blake with Cadence Bank, and you hear a lot of sellers paying closing costs now, I guess, with how the market's kind of changing. And a lot of buyers ask, should I use those funds to pay my closing cost or do a permanent buy down or a temporary buy down? So I wanted to explain a little bit some of the options for you and explain maybe what a 2-1 buy down is. We did those several years ago, but now they're making a comeback. So a 2-1 buy down is where your funds for the closing that the seller's paying goes to reducing your interest rate. So for instance, let's say you're doing a 30-year rate at 6.25 and you're going to use that money to do the 2-1. So how the 2-1 buy down works is the first year, again, if your start rate is 6.25, that is what you're going to qualify on for your debt to income ratios. The first year, the rate would drop down to 4.25, which is your 2% below the start rate. And then after the first year's up, the 12 months, then you have a 5.25% interest rate. And what that does is that saves you money every year. And how a lender calculates it, we take the savings between the higher rate and your lower rate, divide it by 12 months, and that gives you your yearly savings for that first year. And then we do the same thing for the next year. And that's how the lender determines how much it's going to cost to buy that interest rate down. One reason you may not want to consider doing the 2-1 buy down if you have those funds that the seller's paying is because we do know at some point what goes up on those rates are going to come down. So if you're going to refinance that home in a few years or you're going to sell that home for another home, investing that money in a buy down is probably not the wisest option. You're probably better off, if you know those circumstances are going to happen, is to just use that money and apply it towards your closing costs.
There you go. That's why you have realtors and that's why you have lenders in the industry to take care of you.
The other option that we can do is what's called a permanent rate down. And that rate is permanently bought down for the full term of the loan or the life of the loan, because at some point you may refinance that rate. A lot of times what we find is lenders can only buy that rate down so much on a permanent buy down. So if there's any extra funds, we can apply those towards your closing costs.
And me personally, I feel like that's a better option than 2-1. I mean, really, reality is most people are going to refinance, most likely, if you bought a house in the second, third, or fourth quarter of 2022, going into 2023, and probably 2024. And so really, we just want to share some creative ways that can save you money when you're purchasing a house. And so every lender has different programs, and I know that was a lot of numbers throwing out there. You may be trying to take notes. That's why we shoot these videos, so you can watch it again. But call Lisa. She'll run these numbers down. She'll do a workout sheet with you. She'll break the numbers down, explain it based upon your situation, your scenario, your numbers, what kind of money that you have saved up for a down payment, and really what kind of savings that will do for you if you do get that buy down.